Coming up on the next episode. Good Sunday evening to you all, YouTube. It is 9:47 now in the PM. Back here with the MFP again. Over the weekend, I did a little bit more work. I didn't do it a lot because I'd pretty much wore myself off or out with all the nibbling and stuff I did on Friday. And one of the things I wanted to do was get this tester set in completely. In other words, so it's ready to go, ready to be hooked up, ready to use. You will see 4 screws here, and behind every screw between that and the circuit board is this little spacer. I challenged Bob with this task, gave him the measurements, and because he's a little bit better with the shrinkage and stuff like that on designing things, he came up with it. Now the only thing that was wrong with it was the hole was too small, the center hole, but I just used a drill bit, a 3mm drill bit, went down through it, and it was fine. So that worked out rather well, and you can see this, is just perfect as it is. Got the I've had to make a little cutout for the lever for the zip socket, but these are all attached like they're supposed to be. And that is pretty much it. I'm kind of going through the things that I need to do on this and get it lined up, get it ready to go. Basically, I just want to, go through and get the things I need to get done like this. That was one thing, and that's done now. There's no more work needs to be done like that. Just hook it up to power. It's ready to go. So next thing I'm going to try to do is the scope above it. What I want to do is, if you can see up here in the corner, there's a hole for the holds the black panel onto the MFP, and I'd like to get that available to be used. There's a couple ways I can do it. I can drill a hole in the plastic here and mount everything with one shot, which I may do. I don't know yet. Or I can just take the Dremel and cut out a little bit of that to where the screw is exposed. Now that would work all right for the scope, but over here on this meter, that would not work because I can't ground that out. It's part of that meter, and it's just not going to work. So I'm going to have to come up with another method of doing this one over here. I've thought about using a small-headed screw, which that might work as well. It's the holes there and everything. It lines up perfectly. But I don't know. Like I say, we'll see. But if I do mount that up there like that, like I'm thinking about doing, I also need to grind off a little bit down here, which I don't know how well you can see it, but there's these tester screws are holding that up just a little bit. I think I need to ground just a little bit off there, and I've actually got it marked there with a marker on where it needs to be ground at, and I may take the Dremel and do that and get that ground a little bit. That would take care of this one, and as far as getting it set in there, the screw part of it, I'm going to have to either use these holes here and round them up with a round hole, or again go to the corners and do that. I could do either one. It doesn't really matter. Whichever is going to be easiest. I don't know how hard it is to drill through this plastic here, but I may find out. This one here is easy enough. Just there's 2 screws on the back of it right here, and those are the hookup for the meter, and that's all it holds that on. It's really simple. That one is done. Really nothing else to do but hook it up and get it all wired. Same thing with the frequency counter. It is hooked up. Just needs to be wired. And so that's taken care of just about everything then. I still have to take the wiring for the meter, the DMM, and get that wired into it. I think what I'm going to do is just solder wires to the 2 terminals that for the plus and the minus on the battery connector, and we'll do that, and then that will be easiest way to do that, I think. So that's going to do that. I'm thinking about doing that, getting that all done, and getting everything pretty much set in, and then the last thing I'll have to do then is the power supply, which again is pretty much done except for wiring. Like I say, I have to actually, use the what do you call it on the screw. I think this one's got a well, what do you call it, nut on it. I can't remember. Not a nut. What they call it, a hex head set screw, and I think that's what does that. I think is all that is. This is going to have to be glued, but the panel itself is going to have to be painted first. And once I do that, I'll use the contact cement on both surfaces, and we'll stick that down and get that glued on to the panel. And once it's in place, it should stay there. And the meters are okay, except for they're a little bit loose. I may take some hot glue and go around the edges of that and just have a little bit of more security wise. And like I say, the meters fit in there, but they're, and they're not, they won't fall out, but at the same time they're a little bit loose like they are. So we'll have to wait and see about that. The switches, I think I'm going to put the power switch for the power supply here, or here, it doesn't matter, one place or the other. That's where I'm going to put that at. I will put one here for the filament transformer, and those are the two. Like I said, I'm going to use the rocker switches that Wally gave me, and those we're going to be use that. Now the rest of the items that I'm going to use switches for are going to be the smaller, now I think they're called mini toggle switches, and they're single pole, single throw ST. So and that will be probably for the frequency counter, function generator. Nothing for that. That doesn't need one. Bob says the scope does not have an on-off on it, so I thought maybe that was it there, but apparently that's not it. So that'll have to have one. This one does not need one. So I have 1, 2, 3 for that, and of course the signal tracer. So there's 4 of them. I have I think 8 of them coming, but you have to. That's the way you have to buy things these days. You can't buy just 1 or 2. You just have to buy the whole set of them. So that's the way that's going to work. So those are on the way, by the way, and like I say, once they come in, those will be mounted down here on the front, and that's pretty much where everything's going to mount as far as the jacks are concerned. And so like I said, it may be a little awkward, but you can see the jacks, the red and black, are visible from the top here. You can see which is which. There will be, like I said, some for the yellow for AC, for the meter itself, and for the function, or not the function, but the filament transformer output. So those will be up here, the yellow parts. And this one doesn't need anything. The tester's got its own leads. There will be a BNC for the frequency counter to be able to measure things. And I'm not sure about the output of this yet. I know there's going to have to be either a switch on it to switch from sine to square, or maybe just 2 different outputs. I'm not really sure, because I can use either one with this setup. I just need to attach wires to that and then use a switch in between them, or whatever I do, and that's all I need to do there. So now as far as the modulation, I could not think of that for nothing. If I put the modulation in, I'll do that later. This can come out really easy. It's not hard to do, and I can set up everything so that with that in mind, that I'll have that later on to add, and that can be done to that. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up just like it is and go from there. So that's the way I'm going to do that. So that's going to pretty much can be it. The scope will have again the switch to turn it on and off, and it will have a BNC coming out somewhere down in here. I've got all this area underneath this tester because none of that is needed for it. So I've got quite a bit of area here to use, and like I said, I can use the use this area here to as far as my markers or labels, or what do you want to call it, so they can be seen easily, and I'll know exactly what each one does, switch, things like that. The other item that I have to deal with is the plastic part of the MFP here. There's basically nothing to screw to over here. I don't think there's much here either. I'm pretty much really right at the edge of the to get this in here because it was really close, and so I don't really have anything left to do there as far as left to screw it into. I've got one here, and I could probably put one here, but I don't have anything in this corner. I'm hoping that'll be enough to hold it down. It probably will, because like I say, if everything's tight, you see it doesn't want to flop up or anything like that. So I think that'll work all right. So we'll see, but that's the stuff I've got to work on. And this video is kind of for Bob, because he said this is what the best thing to do is go through and see what you need to do, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. So, but I'd like to get all these holes cut for each one, everything that needs to go in there, and then, like I said, the last step before I actually put everything in and wire it up is to paint it. So you got to do that. I'm going to paint the ends the same color as the MFP itself. I'm going to paint the black and the gray the same color. Everything will be that copper, hammered copper finish, and I'll show you that in case you forgot what it looks like. Oops. There you go. That's what it looks like, and that's what it's going to look like, so that will be alright. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but I've got Live on Patrol going. They just happen to be on tonight. They're not usually on Sundays and stuff, but they were today, so I've been watching them, and I got it onto the Bluetooth back here because I don't have any speakers hooked up to the computer. I could listen on the headphones, but it's it's just easier to hook it up with Bluetooth, and I can turn the what do you call it up here and take care of the volume all I need to, and that should work out really good. But that's what I'm doing this evening. I don't know if I'm going to post this Monday or Tuesday, because I posted 2 videos today. I posted 2 on yesterday, and that's my pill alarm. And I had these pills back here. I have to cut these in half. These are my Glimperide, whatever you call that. But I have to take a pill and a half, so I take one at night. I take a half one. So I cut 30 or 15 of those up. This makes 30. So let me turn this pill alarm off so it doesn't go off again. But anyway, that's what I'm doing this evening. I told Bob I was being a bum over the weekend. I really didn't do that much other than make the videos, and those were labors of love. You know me, guys, that I just like to do stuff like that. The one I did earlier for the viewer, like I said, that was pretty simple to do on a computer, and just sitting there in the chair, didn't have to do anything, go anywhere like that. So that's all I had to do. So I did it. So anywho, like I say, probably this will be Tuesday. I'm not really sure, but I was watching these guys here on YouTube, the Live on Patrol, and they were talking about the experts say how many videos a week that you should post to keep your audience whatever happy, I guess is what they're saying, but probably no more than 3 a week at the most. 2 to 3 weeks probably the best. So that's probably what I'm going to be shooting for. Trying to get something going here. So if I have one Tuesday, and then maybe Thursday, and then do a live flap on Friday. And oh, by the way, the new camera is, and I probably didn't say this on the last video, but it's supposed to be here tomorrow, according to UPS. And that will be Monday. Of course, now if you don't see this till Tuesday, you won't know anything about it. But I plan to do a video with it, and that'll be an extra video. There are going to be some extra videos, obviously, because I like to do videos, number one. But number two, there's just certain things I need to get done in a timely fashion, and that's one of them. I'm going to take the new video dash cam and run the same exact route I did the other day. By the way, that video was made Saturday. It was not made Sunday. I posted it on Sunday, but it was made Saturday. So I don't think it was actually clear on the video, so in case you were wondering. But anywho, that's what I'm going to do, is drive that same route with the new camera, and that way you can look at them both and do comparison side by side. I probably will use the Chemitech again. I think that works rather well to be able to hear my voice. And like I started to say, the flap when I do it, I'll probably use the dash cam and the Chemitech and just drive around and do the flap that way. I think that might be a better way of doing it. So we'll see on how good it looks and everything like that. That's the main thing right now. Seeing how good it's going to look and stuff. So you guys, I'm going to 15 minutes and 42 seconds. So let me get off here and get some other stuff done. I'm going to get ready for bed here very shortly. It's 10:03. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.